Hello and welcome back to King Axel's Movie Lounge. Oh yeah! Uh, First and foremost, I want to apologize for the long delay. I have been dealing with a lot of technical difficulties. I've tried uploading some things and they got blocked. As far as equipment issues were going, that really held me back. But I am back. And I am going to do hopefully this one uploads. So, first full-length movie reaction. We're gonna keep it kind of short this time. Tomorrow I'm going to see The Mummy in theaters, the Brendan Fraser one. And so I am going to do a reaction to the original 1932 Mummy with Boris Karloff. So, if you like this kind of content, please give me a like, please subscribe. You can check out the Patreon. I'll be uploading everything over there as well. I'll be working on full length. And yeah, I don't really want to do too long of an intro, so let's just go ahead and get to it. The Mummy, 1930. Scroll of Thought. I used to be a big fan of studying ancient Egypt when I was a child.
High priest of the temple of the sun at Kana. Poor old fellow, now what could you...
I'm assuming it's gonna come to life.
An execution for treason, I suppose.
So Imhotep was sentenced to death not only in this world, but in the next.
Maybe he got too gay with the Vestal Virgins in the temple.
Possibly. The priestesses of the temple of Karnak were the daughters of the reigning pharaohs. They were the sacred virgins of Isis.
Maybe
So maybe too hedonistic, is that what I'm getting at? And they didn't like him acting out? So they said, that's it for you, buddy?
Let's have the box up there.
The wood's so rotten
Yeah, what is
fall apart at a touch.
Terrible heavy.
Whatever it is, it's terribly heavy.
Oh, I love movies from the 30s. I really do. The 30s, the 50s, and the 80s.
Metal. Looks like copper.
I think Tarantino specifically said the 50s and the 80s sucked for movies. I disagree. Historical figures. Or if they're just names for the story. Also, did Bram Stoker write this? Because I think there was a movie called Bram Stoker's The Mummy that came out years after this. Decades even.
Death. Eternal punishment. For anyone who opens this casket in the name of Amun-Ra, the king of the gods.
They're gonna open it, aren't they? I would.
Heavens, what a terrible curse.
Well, let's see what's inside.
I knew it.
You have read the curse.
He don't care.
We
My
recognize...
opinion is don't open
Surely
it.
a few thousand years in the earth would take the mumbo-jumbo off any old curse. I cannot speak for a boy. Come out under the stars of Egypt. Do not touch that casket.
I'm not laughing at him or anything. I'm laughing at the fact that they called him a boy. Like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. Also, I just want to make a apology if the audio isn't quite right. I'm still messing with it, trying to find the right balance. So please bear with me as I continue to figure that out.
And I believe that you have in your hut the scroll of Thoth itself, which contains the great spell of which Isis raised Osiris from the dead.
Oh, okay, so that's probably how they're gonna get, I can't remember how to say his name, so the Mummy, Boris Karloff. That's probably how they're gonna get him to come to life. Oh, the boy. He's a curious one. It's kind of like if you're, like an alcoholic or something, and you got a bottle right there, and you're trying so hard not to drink it, but it just keeps calling out to you. Or an ex that you really want to hit back up or something. Not saying you should, but relatable.
And once, 10 years ago, he found too much. Was it 10 years ago?
Not a very good
Come
one.
in.
That's him. That's that's Boris. That's the mummy.
Permit me to present you with the most sensational find since that of Tutankhamun. We Egyptians are not permitted to dig up our ancient dead.
Well, what's this?
So he's now a
Part
native
of the
Egyptian?
funerary equipment of the Princess Anxanamun, daughter of Amenophis the Magnificent.
Is there a reason he's bringing her up? Like, is that his dead wife or something?
It's a step. He was right. Anyhow, we found something.
Okay.
Seal of the seven jackals.
And it's unbroken. No one has entered this door since the priests of the royal necropolis sealed it.
3,700 years ago.
Okay, so, Mummy was right, which makes sense.
What language is that?
The language of ancient Egypt, not heard on this earth for 2,000 years.
Oh, he's gonna find Imhotep.
How did I get here?
We brought you here. Father and I. You fainted.
How did you guess she was here?
I discovered that she took a taxi from the hotel to the museum.
See, both of them look the same.
The watchman
I don't know who the original archaeologist was. But I'm assuming it's the guy on the left.
And now, if you're all right again, back we go to the hotel.
I think she ought to rest a few minutes.
What is
Frank,
that?
will you make yourself agreeable?
He's jumping with joy inside.
Where was I when I fainted, Mr. Wemple?
Oh, outside the museum.
Let's not talk about it.
Oh,
Well, you
right.
brought it up, woman. I don't know her name, so she's just woman for now.
You're partly Egyptian, aren't you?
Yes. How did you guess that?
I know they said her name, but I don't remember. I'm bad with
Just
names.
something about you?
I'm a lot better with actors. Like, that's why I keep saying Boris Karloff, even though he's
Never
the mummy.
such luck. After we'd worked among her things, I felt as if I'd known her. But when we got the wrappings off, and I saw her face, you'll think me silly, but I sort of fell in love with her.
Do you have to open graves to find girls to fall in love with?
I say, now I know what it is about you.
You look just like her.
Something about her head.
I have never mentioned
She has a big head. I noticed that earlier, but I didn't want to say anything come off rude. But now it's part of the movie, so I can comfortably say it. She has a big head.
No refrigeration.
Doesn't
no heating
fit her
or air.
body. Mummy got him.
We find this in dead God's hand,
What?
Sir Joseph.
What is the document?
Roll of... Yeah, he knows exactly what it is. They're trying to bring her back to life.
You really want to know why I didn't take you to the hospital? Because when I heard you...
Because he likes you.
Better not to mention.
Oh, I know it seems absurd when we've known each other such a short time. But I'm serious.
Don't you think I've had enough excitement for one evening? All of a
Yeah,
sudden,
he's coming on
love to me.
super
But I've never
strong.
been serious about this sort of thing before.
Block.
First has struck her, and now through her, it will strike my son.
That is the end, folks. Well, folks, that was The Mummy from 1932. I know that I have some things to work on as far as my personality on camera. I know I gotta work on the visuals. I know I gotta work on the audio, so bear with me as I deal with all those. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. I think that the most striking thing was definitely having Boris Karloff's face just right there, staring at you, just like this. Like, all wrinkly and creepy and everything. I know that is from 1932, and so you got to take that into account. I will say, though, I didn't really know much about the characters. For example, the archaeologist's son that was in love with Helen. I don't know anything about him, so I didn't really have a connection with him, except for the fact that he was one of the protagonists. But overall, I like the movie. It was a short horror movie, very early on, right around the time of Dracula and Frankenstein. Well, Boris was hitting, like, you know, roll after roll after roll. And I think This Old Dark House came around in the 30s too, like 1935. And so that all happened, like, right in the same time frame. Anyways, yeah, I think that I would give that, it's really hard to rate a movie that is so old because you can't hold it to today's standards. Um, but I think I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Um, because I enjoyed it. I was following along. I don't think I liked it nearly as much as I did Dracula or Frankenstein, but I'm glad that I watched it and I finally got it under my belt. So, anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys have any recommendations for me for how I can make my channel better, any content specifically that you would like to see, go ahead. You can recommend it. Please hit that like button, the subscribe button, hit the bell if you want all my content. You can check out my Patreon. It's going to have full-length reactions and things like that too. Of course, you will need your own copy. Anyways, thanks again, guys. Peace.